Hey guitar chefs, it's my week 40 and in one word it was just wow. So I got to the module 35, which is on connection between modes and chords, and yeah, I finally have an idea uh, how to write some chord progressions within the key, and where are all these weird chords like my seventh, ninth, sixth, and so on coming from. It's really useful and really mind blowing because I haven't learned music theory before the course, so I have no idea where these are come from. So it's really it's really cool, and yeah, I had a lot to think about and to figure out and to process in my brain. So because the sheer amount of work and thinking on this topic was so huge, I've been kind of improvising on the background, but I have no results at that front because I didn't uh, learn some new licks or something like this. So I decided not to include this in this video because even without the improvisation, there's gonna be much to talk about and to show. First of all, the characteristics of the modes are okay. So Ionian has no sharps, no flats. Dorian has flat 3, flat 7. Then Phrygian has flat 2, flat 3, flat 6, flat 7. Lydian has sharp 4. Then Mixed Lydian has flat 7th, and Aeolian has flat 3, flat 6, flat 7th, and Locrian has flat 2, flat 3, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7th. Oh, there's a lot of flats. So yeah, these are the characteristics of the modes, the notes which are defining them. So that's kind of it. At first, I was looking up the chord shapes at the website called all-guitar-chords.com, and yeah, there's a lot of shapes, but as I figure out later, not all of them, not at all. So the first few days I was just playing the chords which I found on it, and I started my journey from C Ionian, of course. So the chords which are in C Ionian mode are C major, C sus2, C sus4, C6, C major 7th, C add 9, C major 9th, C major 11th, and C major 13th. So here's me playing all these chord shapes which I learned from the website. Okay, the first video is me playing all the chords I've looked up. The first is C major. Then it's gonna be C sus2, C sus4, C6, okay, the next one is C major 7th, C add 9, C major 9th, C major 11th, an ugly one, C major 13th, and that's all the chords of the C Ionian mode which I have looked up at the website. But yesterday I just figured out that I have and I will and I want to figure out other shapes which are there, because for some chords there were like 6 or 7 of the shapes across the fretboard, and for some of them on this website, for example for C major 11th, there was only one shape of an entire fretboard. I think that chord is not used much, so maybe it's the reason, but still I understood that I want to figure out all of them myself. So yeah, unfortunately, this thought come to my mind just yesterday. So I had only yesterday, I think an hour or maybe 2, figuring this out, and today I'm already recording. So I recorded my whole thought process of how I constructed these chords, and yeah, that's the reason this video got so long. Yeah, but there are some questions on the way and some chord voicings in which I'm not confident that these are the shapes and all the notes that are belong to this chord in order to call it that way. So yeah, but it will be much appreciated, Kaio, if you would give me feedback on this section of the video, because yeah, I think it would be really helpful for other shapes, other chords, and to chord construction in general in the future. So it's an important thing, and I want to get used to it and nail it. Also, when I was doing this, I remembered exactly what the notes of the C Ionian chords are. And that's great because, yeah, I have to remember, and kind of each time I play something, I had to figure out what this note was, and that's gonna be very useful in the future. Well, that video is gonna be much longer. I'll try to edit everything out, but I need to describe my thought process to get the idea of how I get to these chords. So, when I was looking up the chords at the website, I noticed that some of them had not much voicings in comparison to others. For example, it had only one voicings of C major 11th, which sounds ugly, but never mind. And for example, for the C major chord, it's like 6 or 7 of them. So it got me think, where are all other voicings? And when I started to practicing this exercise in the beginning of the week, the way the Brandon described that exercise is that we have to kind of get to these shapes, to these voicings ourselves. But I was using the wrong approach. When I heard that exercise, I tried to start with some triads. So, for example, here is the first C note. I want to find some C chords from C Ionian mode. So here is C. We have this major triad, right? C, G. And then I need to kind of use my middle finger or some other finger to add some notes. And this approach didn't work because the shape is kind of wide already and there's not much you can play. But yesterday I finally got a breakthrough idea to use all the major C major shapes from Cage system and kind of start with them and see what shapes and what notes could I reach where. So here's gonna be my whole process of doing it for every shape and for every chord. I don't know how long will it take, but I want to do it. Okay, so C major, C sus2. For C sus2, we need to remove our E note and play D instead. So here's C sus2, right? And also we can play it like this, I think. Sounds, but we haven't played, we don't need to play the higher E. Sounds pretty nice. Then C sus4. The shape was like this in the looked up website, but we need to play an F, and why don't we play this F? I think it sounds better. So here's C sus4. Another voicing, right? Yeah. C6. The shape was on the website here. But all we need in order to get the C6 shape is to add the 6, which is A. Okay, so where do we have an A here? We can play it, for example, here. So that's gonna be C6, and I think it sounds better than this one, right? And if we were to return to the C major, I noticed that this note is G, which belongs to the C major chord. So we can play C like this, and I really like that voicing. The G sounds really cool. Yeah, okay, but we'll return to the other chords and shapes. So C6, we played it already, C major 7th, okay. The shape which I looked up was here, but we can play it here instead. It sounds different, but it works too. It's not that hard. I kind of like this one as well. Okay, the next is C add 9. It's simple. This one, this variation. Yeah, but what D can we add? We have this D. It's kind of in the same octave instead of the octave up, but technically it's still D. We can look at it as a 9th. So here's my first question. It's C sus2, but can we look at this sus2 and say that it's C add 9? Because the notes are pretty much the same. Yeah, it's really interesting stuff. Okay, what's the next chord? C major 9. We have the shape here, and I think it's pretty much the only one you can do, because we have C, we have E, we have G, B, and we have D. Yeah. And we actually can play E or as well, because it's within the chord. So yeah, pretty nice sound. The next is C major 11th, and this voicing is really ugly, and it sounds rough. So the 11th note is D again, right? Or no? No, it's 4th. It's the same as 4th, which is F. So here's an F. Okay, F, C, B, E, and C again. Okay. What can we do to make it sound better? I think I've found some shapes here. I need to remember which one it was. So we can remove that E and play D instead. Maybe it will help. Nope, still ugly. Okay, maybe it was with other voicings, so let's keep that for now. And the last chord is C major 13th. Okay, which notes do we have? So here's C major 9th. Oh no, we have Wind 11th. Okay, that was C major 11th. And we need to insert 13th here. So 13th is A. Okay, where do we have an A? Technically, we could play an open string instead of C. We have C here on the B string, so it's gonna be an inversion, but still it's gonna be this shape. And it sounds, I would say it sounds okay. Not very pleasant, but still there is something in it. Yeah. But I just noted that we don't have D in the chord, the D, which is our ninth, I guess. Yeah, so we had the same problem in the C major 11th, which is here, and we don't have our D. Yeah, but we can play this. It won't sound great, but here's our D, and if we use that shape and add an A, so just remove that finger, it's gonna be other voicing, which is sounds messy, but I think that's how that chord sounds. That's it for this first position. The next position is here. Here our C major chord, right? So C major. The next is C sus2. We know that, and also we can use that chord as C add 9, right? Because our D is as well our ninth. So if we play it like this, we can say that it's C add 9, right? Or am I incorrect? That's kind of interesting. The next is C sus4. We had the shape here. C6 as well. C major 7th. All right, we have this already. C at 9, I just talked about it. C major 9th, and that's where things get interesting. We had the shape here, and the next shape, which I looked up, is right here, I guess, which is not very close to this position. I mean, this is pretty much between these two positions, but maybe we can do something here. Okay, what note is our ninth? It's D. We have D here, and we can just play these 4 notes. Is it gonna be it? I'm not sure. We need to play C major 9th. So here's our D, right? Yeah, D is gonna be our major 9th. Then we're gonna have G, C, and E. So yeah, we need B as well to call it the C major 9th. Where is B? And B is, we can play an open string here, for example, so no, it sounds not great. Okay, maybe I will consider this shape is in the same way it belongs to this position and to this position as well. Okay, let's move on. C major 11th. We need to have what notes? C, E, G, then B, and then D, and what's for F? All right, we can have F here. So C, F. That's gonna be what note is it? B. So C, F, B. Then it's gonna be D and G. What note do we miss? So C, E, G, F, and B, right? We have B, we have G, we have F. So I think that's gonna be C major 11th, I suppose, right? Sounds C major 11th. Okay, and after C major 11th, we need to add the 13th, which is A. There's 2 ways of doing it. The one is here, but then we don't have our G anymore, and only root remains from the major triad, which is not great. I think I don't think we can still call it the C major 13th chord. So I think the better option would be to play A here on the lower E. So that's gonna be our C major 13th. I hope so. Okay, the next position is here. We can play C major like this, or maybe like this, or maybe even like this, or even like this, which we know from the gauge system. Yeah. So let's try to play something else. C sus2. Okay. We need to exclude this E and to play the D instead of it. We can get this, change this E to G here. So that's going to be the initial setup without an E, and we have to put somewhere in here D. I think that's D, so the chord will sound like this. C sus2. But yeah, actually, it's a it's a very inverted one because the C is the higher note. What can we do here? Not much, I guess. So it's just an inversion. So yeah, C sus2 inverted. Okay, C sus4. We have a shape for this. So we have our G. Yeah, we have our G. We have our F, which is fourth. C, F, G, C. Oh, I mean G, F, G, C. C sus4. Okay, the next is C6. Here is our C major. We need to add an A here. We can just do this. Yeah, we have that. We have this shape here, like this or like this. Okay, I won't stop here. Next one is C major 7th, which is like this. Or we can make on the higher 4 strings. It's gonna sound like this. So yeah, right. C at 9. D is our 9th, so if we just add this note, I think that's gonna be it. It's an inversion again, because our C is still only higher notes. This C we just change to D. So yep, that's it, C at 9. And now C major 9. We added 9th, but we need to play B as well. We have B here, so I don't think that's this shape is very useful, but still we can play it, kinda. Not the best shape. Yeah. Okay, C major 11th. What can we do here? We need to play C, E, G, B, D, and F, right? F is gonna be our 11th, right? So we have F here, for example. We can play B here. So B, F. Then we should do something here. So B, F, G, C. Yeah, B, F, G, C. We need to insert D and A, right? No, only D. Yeah, only D will be enough. But if we insert D here, where would be the C? I don't know. I think we could kind of try to do here. What am I trying to do now? C major 11th, right? In this shape, okay. I know we have one here, but it's not the option now. All right, let's return to what we got. So B, F, B, F, G, C, right? Yeah, B, F, G, C, and we need to play D. Okay, I'll try to do like this. So B, F, G, D, and what note is it? E. We don't have C at all, so that's not our chord. All right, but where can we insert D? I don't know. Okay, we can play it without D. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the counted as major 11th chord. Yeah, because we have F but not our D, but still we can do it like this. So if we switch just 2 fingers here from the normal G shape, that's gonna be, I think, but I'm not sure. Yep, and major 13, which is left, we need to add A here or here. I think that would be more useful, but we need to conserve our C, which is here, so these notes must be played. Then we still have to play D, but where do we do it? I'm not sure. We can play it here. No, we can play it here. We can't play it. No, we can't play it here. Or we can. No, we can't. Okay, so if we don't have C here, we must have C either here or here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to reach this note, but I think I can try. Which special notes are here? A. We need to play B as well. B is gonna be. No, it's not gonna be here. That stuff. I'm not sure. I don't know how to play this shape. If it's even the shape at that position near the 5th fret, so I'm gonna skip it. All right, next is kind of on the 8th fret, plus minus. So yeah, C major and C sus2. It's kind of tricky because we don't have much fingers here. So, and we need to get rid of this E, but we can't just leave the finger because the D is 1 fret down. Actually, we can just use some kind of weird shape like this. I think it's gonna be. No, it sounds wrong. What's wrong? Yeah. No, it's not playable. Or is it? I'm not sure. No, it's. Yeah. Here's C sus2, I think. Or is it? So we have C, we have G, C, we have D, and we have G. Yeah, it's C sus2. Kinda cool. Okay, works for me. The next would be the C sus4, and we actually had the shape here. We shall look up like this, or we can simplify it by playing on the higher 4 strings. Yeah, so it's kinda like it. And C6, okay, I know it's here. I really like this voicing, it's so cool. And we can play C major 9th as well, just by moving these two fingers up and down, respectively. It's kind of cool. Okay, C major 7th. There's a lot of shapes here. This one, we can use this one, or we can simplify and play the higher 4 strings like this. It's gonna be C major 7th. Okay, C at 9. It's interesting because here's our chord and 9 is D. We need to add D, but where can we add it? Like here maybe, but then we will have this note, but we can just mute it. I think that might be it. I'm not sure. Not the best voicing, but the notes are here, I suppose. Okay, C major 9th. So here's C6, and here's C major 9th. Very cool. I really like this stuff. Okay. C major 11th, it's in the chords that I have looked up. And finally, C major 13th. Yeah, it's actually here. So here it is. I like this voicing. It's not that messy as the ones I played before. So yeah. All right. What else do we have here? Not much. Let's move to the next shape, which is here near the 10th fret, C major. C sus2 we have like here. C sus4 we just add F. Okay, the next one will be C6, which is, if I remember correctly, this one, right? Because we added an A. No, that's not the correct shape, or is it? Yeah, that's an A, right? Yeah. So there's C major, C6, C major 7th, then C at 9. All right. So how can we add 9 here? Ninth is D. We can play just like this, I think. Yeah, it's similar to C sus2, I suppose. Pretty much the same chord, depending on how you look on it. That's good to know. Okay, C major ninth. It's like this. Chord I'm looking at as well. C major 11th. I think it's playing like this, right? So we have B, we have G, G B D, 11th. Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, no, but we need to add an F as well. Is it the correct chord? I think we need to play it like this. And it's gonna be C major 11th. Right. And C major 13th. How to add an A here? If I play like this, I will be without B note. I don't know what the correct voicing. I think it might work in some situations. But yeah, that's basically all I got through yesterday, because before I was just playing the same chord shapes which I looked up at the website. I think I'll call it out because I don't remember right now. So yeah, what do you think? I think that this approach is very useful, and I had to look up notes and to kind of remember where are they, and when I play all the shapes and pronouncing all the notes which are playing now, I think it's gonna make me remember the fretboard easier and faster, which is great. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next modes. But that's it for this week and for C Ionian mode. Yeah, I can't play all these chords fast enough or switch between them. And I think it's gonna be really overkill if I'm gonna be stopping on each module like this. So I just remembered all the chords of the Ionian mode, and I want to get to the next one. Okay, that's gonna be it for today. Next week, Dorian mode. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be learning C Dorian shapes, or I think the better way of doing it will be to learn the D Dorian shapes in order to connect these chords and play something in the key of C, for example, in the end. So yeah, I'll think about it more. Or maybe I'm gonna be learning all the C chords in each mode to get to know all of them, and then I'll just use that trick with moving the chord shape up or down the frets in order to get the other versions of it for different notes and roots. So yeah, I'll be thinking about it. But anyway, see you soon, guitar chefs. Bye.